So, Mark, the Champions League quarterfinals did not disappoint this week. After, a group stage where people were moaning about the Champions League, a bit boring, the quarterfinals have burst into life and goals galore for lots of European giants. Just want to get your thoughts firstly on some of those games. Like, who do you reckon after that are favourites to go through from those ties? And also, who might go all the way?
I think the final, we might have already seen it, and we'll see it again next week. I think Real Madrid, Man City look like the two best teams, and obviously they're meeting in the quarterfinals. So I think the winner comes from that. And with Man City at the Etihad, I'd probably say they're favourites. I mean, what a game just for goals. I mean, I thought that Real Madrid did really well to keep Haaland quiet, but then you got Foden and Guardiola with absolute crackers, and then Valverde's goal, I think, topped the lot. So I think those two look impressive. Arsenal seem to still have a European hangover from years ago. They don't seem to play the same defensively and offensively as they do in the Premier League, which has to be some sort of mental block. If they can overcome that, I still think they're a threat. And then the other side of the draw, I just think it's a bit weaker, but it was really entertaining. PSG, Barcelona. I mean, you look at the players that PSG and Barcelona have got on their bench and you think, why are they not up there? That's obviously an identity problem at the club. But no, I think I can't look away from Man City and Madrid. I think it was the best game, and I think they're the best two teams. So I think the winner comes from there. And unfortunately, I think it'll probably be City.
And you mentioned City and Madrid there. A lot of conversations this week about Foden and Bellingham. In your opinion, who is the better player between the two? And then on the back of that, should one of them be starting in England's 10 over the other?
You know, all my life, you've had people who have to work for things. You know, you used to have working class heroes, and then you've got the Silver Spoon Brigade. Look, there's nothing wrong with, being born into a comfortable surrounding, but I feel that Pep and Foden are cut from the same cloth. Foden has gone into a Man City side that's dominating football, and he's done fantastically well. Whereas Jude Bellingham started at Birmingham City, he went to Dortmund, and he's now at Real Madrid. Integrity is a word that gets thrown around a lot around Man City, and whether that's fair or not, I think the integrity of Bellingham's journey is harder and more of, the comic books I used to read, Roy of the Rovers, when I was a kid, where you start off at the bottom and you make your way up. So I think Bellingham's story is more compelling. And I think as a player, he's more compelling as well. I just like the fact that he's playing basically bang in the centre of a Real Madrid team. And whatever Real Madrid are in world football now, it's still Real Madrid. They still have that aura. Whereas Foden, brilliant. What a goal. What a goal. And he's playing so well. I'm not taking anything away from him, but I just think Bellingham has that bigger aura at the moment for me.
And I don't know if you saw Noel Gallagher on talkSPORT speaking about Foden. He called him Pep's biggest legacy at Manchester City. What do you think of that quote? Do you agree with that to an extent?
Look, if I make a lasagna from scratch tonight, then people can praise me for making it. Pep's put a ready meal in the microwave and we're meant to be going, oh my God, he's unearthed, Lionel Messi. I mean, Pep Guardiola has this amazing ability to just be there when amazing talent comes through. I mean, Pep Guardiola is not responsible for Lionel Messi, but Lionel Messi came through at Barcelona and he's not responsible for Phil Foden. What I mean by that is Pep Guardiola is a great coach, but Phil Foden was going to be a great player. And Lionel Messi was going to be a great player because you can just tell they're from the streets, they're from the beaches, that they are magnetic footballers with the ball at their feet. Yes, you need the right coach. Neil Warnock's not going to get the best out of Messi and Foden, but I think
we
Foden,
never know. We never know. We haven't seen it, have we?
Well,
so
he'd love a go, wouldn't he? He'd love a go. But look, Noel Gallagher, I think when he talks about Man City, he has those blue tinted glasses on. Foden is a better player for playing under Pep, but if you know football, the natural talent of Foden, he would have been an Arsenal great. He would have been, Man United great, Liverpool. He's got that thing that the best footballers have, and you can see it when he's on the ball.
And you're saying there about right place at the wrong time. On the flip side, wrong place at the wrong time. When you look at these European glamour ties, Real Madrid, City, Arsenal, Bayern, no Manchester United at this stage of the competition. Are you sort of jealous? And how long before United get back to this level where, I hear ex-pros talking about when we played Barcelona back in the noughties. When are we going to get back to that sort of Manchester United?
It's interesting, I mean, normally I would be jealous of it. And I saw watching the games, I heard a few people saying, I wish United was there. I genuinely don't. We're not equipped to be there. You can't just be there. You've got to deliver. If you threw me into a darts tournament, I wouldn't go, it's nice to be there. I'd look absolutely rubbish, and I'd be embarrassed by people like littler. So I think United are miles off. I'm comfortable with us not being there. I want us to be there, but I don't want us to be. We were there, and we got knocked out in the group stage. We weren't good enough. So I think United, for the first time ever, United actually need to be patient. This is why I want to stick with Ten Hag and see it through a third year, because starting again means you start again. For me, you're further away from being a Champions League football club. We've been in the Champions League over the last 10 years and we've never been a good fit for it. For the previous 20 years, it was what we were all about. So, yeah, I want Manchester United to be there, but we don't belong there at the moment. We don't belong there next season. We can't even get in the top 5 in the Premier League. So United need to do a lot of work around the structure. There's something not right there. And I think, it surprises me I'm saying it, but we don't deserve to be there. I don't miss us being there because I want us to be there when we can, hold our own. And look at Arsenal. They were out of it for a few years. Now they're back and they belong. And I think United need to put the foundations in before we go back into tournaments like that.
And we can't speak about European football without talking about Xabi Alonso's Bayer Leverkusen on for an impressive season. Could win the league this weekend, could win the Europa League, and also are in the DFB Pokal final. A famous treble, you could say. Was he right to stay another season, sort of weigh it out, not go for the Liverpool job or Real Madrid job? And where can he actually take this Leverkusen team? Could they become like a staple in European football? Because they've sort of been the nearly men, haven't they, in seasons gone by?
Yeah, I think with Leverkusen, I really expected Alonso to take the Liverpool job because Liverpool are a young team. Klopp's probably leaving at the wrong time for the club because it could be a good team for a few years, but the right time for him because of, the pressure. So it's a great opportunity for somebody to take Liverpool on, unlike United when Sir Alex left, which was quite an ageing team. So Leverkusen is going to win the league. Can they do that next year? I felt it was perfect for Alonso, really, to go. But I just think the Real Madrid job has been offered to him. That's my theory. I think Ancelotti's doing one more year. Obviously, he's played for Real Madrid. He's Spanish. And I think Real Madrid have sort of said, don't take the Liverpool job, because if you take that job, you're going to be in it for years. Wait a year and we'll take you. The only interesting thing to that is, what if in a year's time Jurgen Klopp comes back to football and says, I fancy the Madrid job, and then Alonso's missed the boat. So I suspect, and Bayern Munich was there as well. So I think Alonso's had some sort of conversation about the Madrid job. Because I don't really see the point in staying at Leverkusen for another year. I mean, maybe they can win it next year, but Bayern Munich, we know, will bounce back. So I think he's just waiting around a year for Madrid. That's the only thing that makes sense to me.